So before the video begins, I thought I'd say this really quick. The reason I picked Third Strike this week was because it was the 21st anniversary of the game, and I thought I would honor it this week by playing the game. I unfortunately forgot to mention it throughout the recording as I was going on a bunch of tangents and other things, but I thought I would mention it in the beginning. So yeah, this game's old. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Street Fighter 3. Yo, it's finally time. It's finally time to check out Third Strike. Street Fighter 3. Now, I've grown up with the Street Fighter series. The first game I ever played in the series and the first game I ever played in my life was Street Fighter 2 World Warrior. And I went on to play Turbo. I went on to play all the other ones. And I still play it to this day. Honestly, it's probably still my favorite fighting game franchise of all time. But, man, Third Strike? This is it for me. This is taking nostalgia out because, honestly, World Warrior is really good. And since Street Fighter 2 as a whole is a really good game. But, honestly, Street Fighter Third Strike is my game. And probably one of my favorite fighting games of all time. This game is honestly pretty amazing. And I'll get into, you know what? Let's not waste any time. Let's just get into the game. Alright, wrong button.
Welcome to the world.
And this character selecting. Choose to pick your best ones. Get it on, yo. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get it on. Perfect. So I already know who I'm picking. I'm just letting it sit just so I can hear the theme a little bit more. I'm gonna let this go. All right. Y'all go for that. Hope we gotta go Yang. This stage with this music. Hey, yeah. Speaking of the music, I gotta say.
Are you ready?
Go. This song. Let me pause. So I gotta say this real quick before I start. The soundtrack in this game is phenomenal. Sorry. And there is not a single bad track in this game. And I have to say the composer's name, Hideki Okugawa. He's someone who worked at Capcom after this and went on to do a lot of other games. Like Onimusha 2, Dead Rising. But this soundtrack here is just like, oh, it's beautiful. And it's one of the things I really love this game is like the music, just like the style, everything just has this cool, cool aesthetic to it. And also just like, it just looks so good. Just the sprites, they all like just, they pop, they all look nice. The animation is crisp. Yeah, sorry if I'm not playing good because I'm just talking. Dang it, they really got the easy CPUs in right now. But you know, I can't be saying that because when I get to the end, oh, it starts ramping up fast. It got bad. It starts getting bad in the end. At that point, you're going to see me stop talking. So I better say what I want to say about the game right now because I ain't going to have the opportunity in like 15 minutes. Like when I start getting like Gil and some of those later stages, when the game starts cheating, oh, I'm not going to have a chance to talk. But yeah, the thing I really love about this game is that it's a game where like if you're a casual you can still get into it, but I just love how advanced this game is. This is one of these games that I still have like not mastered yet. I've been playing it for a long time, and I still have not mastered that parry system. Like, even though I know how to do it, just like I just don't have that reflex to hit it. So if you came into this looking for some top tier third strike gameplay, then I apologize. You came to the wrong place. Like, I love this game, but I will admit I am far from a good player at this game. Like, I would not enter a tournament for this game right now. I'm super rusty. I don't have my combos intact, so like I'm rough. So yeah, excuse the play style. You're probably watching this like boy, if I played him right now, ooh, I'd take him out. And you know what? If you are saying that, I'm down to play, because I'm playing this on the 30th anniversary collection. Not a lot of people are playing this version right now. If I was smart, I would have played it on the PS3 version, which that's the definitive version. Like, that's the one I should have played, because that one's got like the extra modes. It's got way more stuff. It's got the remix soundtrack. But for convenience, I went with this. But you know, it's still a good version. It's just the straight up arcade version, which you can't go wrong. Yeah, getting back to the gameplay, like it's really technical, but it's still really fun. Like, I feel like the people I've played this game with, I played it with people who are really good at this game, and I played it with people who don't ever play fighting games. Like this, there's somebody who I know who the only fighting game he really had played was Smash Brothers, and it was the first game we played. I was like, you know what? Let's get on that Street Fighter collection, and we started off Third Strike. And we played for like a good 2 hours. Like, he was honestly loving this game. And that's the thing I really like about this game, is that like anybody can get into it, but it's got that level where it's like, once you really want to get into some real stuff, you gotta start practicing. You gotta start learning those parries. You gotta start learning those matchups, and start getting good. Like oh, this is the game that separates the men from the boys. It's like, do you want to take that dive and get into this? I just wish I was good at this game back then, because like I still remember like the uptick of this game. Like, even though when I got into this game, it was many years after it come out, because this game came out in '99 in arcades, and man, when I started going to arcades, damn, well, actually not. Cause I was going to arcades even in the '90s, like little local areas that had had arcade machines and that. And they did have this game. They had like Street Fighter 2, but I didn't fully get into Third Strike till like, God, maybe '03, because that's when like my local arcade that was in my area, they had it there. They had a bunch of fighters. They had like Tekken 4 and all these other ones. And I remember I played this game a few times. I actually really enjoyed it. I would always get smoked though, because of course at that point I was a little kid, and everyone who I was playing against there, if I did get a match with them, was somebody who was like 16 or older, and they're just tearing me up. I'm getting destroyed over there. But even when I'd play even when I would play just by myself, just get in through the arcade mode, I'd still get smoked near the end. But I can't equate that though, because like the CPUs really play unfair in this game and in a lot of fighting games. Dang it! I gotta take this serious. I'm kind of reminiscing about old times has had me like lose a round. Actually, no, lost the game. Sorry. But no, I played this one a bunch in the arcades, and I still have that urge where I still have that urge where if I see this out and about, I have to play it. Like when I would go to my my local fair in my area, like the past few years they've had an arcade area, and they had a Third Strike machine set up, and it's like, you know what, I can't just leave it here. I have to play at least a few rounds. And it's still like that. If I see a Street Fighter machine or just a fighting game out in the open from an arcade machine, I have to play it. Doesn't matter what game it is. It's like I gotta play at least a few rounds. I'm still hoping it's like, you know what? Those arcade 1-up machines are pretty nice, but I really want to own a legit machine. Like I'm just waiting for a laundromat to go out of business in my area so I can like go swoop up and get those arcade machines. It's like, all right, we're selling off our laundry machines. You guys here to get that? What? Fuck the laundry. I'm here for fighting games. I want that Marvel. I want that marble cab over there. Honestly, till this day, the biggest regret is that when the arcade where I used to go to for like ages, it was like my childhood like place to go on Fridays. So like I'd go with my family. I'd go play arcades. It was like birthdays, everything. I'd always go there. And I remember they closed down in my area. And before they were closing out, a few months before, they were selling a bunch of the arcade machines. And this machine and a bunch of other ones were on sale. It was like $400, $500. And of course me, it's like I'm young. At that point I would have been like, when did it close? Damn, I might have been 8. Damn, I might have been like 10 or 11 years old. And I just remember being like man, I'll never have enough money to get that. And to this day I'm like, man, I wish I would have been like, Mom, can I just get this? Because looking back right now, $400 for a Third Strike machine, or for some of those arcade machines they had in there, was a steal. I'm like, boy, I regret it to this day. Like, I wish I had a time machine. I wouldn't go back to like to go bet on like put stock in Google or put stock in all these things. It's like, oh, I can make $1 million. I'd be like, damn, let me go back to that summer where I could have got all those arcade machines for good prices. But yeah, that was my biggest regret. I was just like, man, I wish I could get at least one of those machines, whether it be the Columns machine or the Turtles machine. They were selling that too. Like they were selling all the legit ones. Like, this arcade was so cool. It had everything. Like in the front, of course, you have your big ticket stuff. You have like your basketball and your skee ball, but in the middle of it, you have like DDR, and you got like your shooting games, your Time Crisis. In the corner next to like the basketball stuff, you have like your weird games where like you're sitting in like a mine cart, or you have your Top Skaters and your samurai game with the sword. But then you go to the back. You go to the middle of the arcade near the back is when you get to the real area, because that's when you get Tekken, Street Fighter, SNK, Marvel, Mortal Kombat, everything. And you get even further back, you get the older stuff. It's like, oh, you want your Pac-Man, you got that. You want Columns, you got that. You want Turtles, you want X-Men. Like the list can go on. I can just keep naming them. But that place was just really cool. And the thing is, there actually is an arcade really close to that one that I need to go to. Well, of course, once everything that's going on right now is normal, then I'll go. But like, yeah, I really miss arcades. Like that's the one thing I miss. Like that was such, I would say that was a pivotal part of my childhood, was going to the arcades, because there's so many games that like I'm really fond of that I either learned first in the arcades, and just like the experience of going there. And it sucks that at least, well, in some areas there's a lot of places where arcades like closed down, and there's like none in some people's areas. I'm very lucky that where I live, I'm not that far away from a lot of arcades, like some really good ones, like for fighting games and just good arcades in general. Like that era of arcades was just really sick. So I appreciate that Japan is still rocking arcades after all these years. God damn, Hugo's tearing me up. Hold on, let me take this fight serious real quick. Let me beat his ass real quick. Oh no, that was stupid. That was really stupid. All right, come on, Ryu. Okay. But no, like Japan's arcades look really sick. They got all these games, and like they got all the arcade machines have online support, like for over there. So it's like, damn, we're gonna get some of that stuff over here. Like, I remember being blown away when I found a Street Fighter 4 cab out and about. Like, this is back before they were like common. Like nowadays you can find them in a lot of different arcades, but I'm talking like 2013, 14. At least for my area, I was shocked if I could even. Oh! God, I hate fighting Hugo. It doesn't matter what game. I do not like fighting him, especially in that goddamn Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Maybe I should play that one of these days. In that game, he was super unfair. Like, there's a certain team in that game that was like ridiculous because it's like, you have Hugo on there. It's like, all right, well, you just won because you don't even do much to be good with him. Just spam his throws, and you're good because he takes out like 90% of your health. Honestly, I should be doing that. I should do like the summer of like fighting games, the summer of brawls. I'll call it that. It'll just be like a month-long GWC plays with nothing but fighting games. And I got a bunch I can play. I got a bunch in my collection I've picked up over the years, and a bunch that I could probably easily pick up for it. Like Tekken Tag, I can easily play that. Some more obscure Street Fighter games, like the Street Fighter EX series. Nobody ever talks about that. Like Capcom really doesn't even bring that up, even though different studio worked on it. But it's like Capcom doesn't mention that game at all. Or damn, like a Soul Calibur 2, I could easily talk about. I could easily play that game. And of course, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, I just mentioned that. That's one. Like, there's so many like fighting games out there that I could honestly do like a 3-month like spread of nothing but them. Honestly, even taking like 3 months, I could do a whole year of GWC plays entirely of fighting games, and I probably still would have more space for another year. Because there's so many out there. Like, if I just played the Street Fighter games alone, even like there's name series, like I'm talking like Alpha 1, Alpha 2, all those, EX, and then other Street Fighter like stuff. Like, it'll go on and on. It's like, I hate Hugo. Come on. Alright, I gotta go for it. Yeah, I had to play like that. I had to go on defense there.
Fighters ready. Engage.
I won't play like a Guile player. I'm just gonna stay in the corner and just spam. Now, the one thing I will say with fighters, especially with Street Fighter and that, is I'm more of a Shoto player. I can play certain charge characters, but I've never been like that great at them. But I've always just preferred this style. And I know some people like to dog these characters. Like, I remember some guy in Street Fighter 4 was calling me out. He was like, "Oh, you're only playing the easy characters. Pick a real character out there." I was like, "Hey, you know, I won't play who I play. I was like, I'd rather play as like the baseline, either Ryu, Ken, something like that." Like, I remember Street Fighter 4, I went for a few different picks. Like, I started off playing like Makoto in that game. I went on to play a little bit of Dan. I tried a little Gouken, but he was a little too much. But I try to play at least a little bit of everybody in a fighting game. Even if I don't like play him as my main, I do like to play as him. Now, I do have to mention this because this is one thing I do love about this game. As I mentioned earlier, the sprite work on this game is fantastic, but the animation also is really great. And Elena has probably some of the cleanest animation I've ever seen for a sprite game. Like, that animation, her idle animation is so smooth and clean. And the reason why is that it's, I'm led to believe, if I remember, that her animation was like fully done in 60. They animated it at 60 frames per second, and it took a super long time to do it for her. So they gave up, or they decided to simplify it a little bit when it came to the other characters. Look how detailed it is. It looks like so good. Like, it's still impressive to this day. Like, And that's the thing that I love about these Street Fighter games, especially, is that they will never like age. They'll never show their age. They will always look good no matter what. I could play this game in 2030, 2050, and I promise you it'll still look good. It's like a good art style will last a lifetime. Like Street Fighter 4, good game. Is it going to hold up graphically in 20 years? No. Does it hold up graphically now? Some people might say no already. I think it still looks pretty decent. Fuck, I could have won that one. But yeah, I miss a Street Fighter like this. Like I'm almost hoping if they ever do Street Fighter 6, because Capcom really needs to Street Fighter 5, they need to kind of stop. They need to just start fresh, because that game started off kind of rough, and then I feel like they slowly got there. Then they kind of didn't go anywhere with it. But if they did a Street Fighter 6 and it was with this kind of art style, like they went back to basics with this, oh, I would be there day zero. I would be all in on that game. I was like, yes, Capcom, take my money. They've been doing really good of late. So, you know what? Here's hoping. Fingers crossed that they actually do at some point go back to that. Oh, yeah, and I know I'm doing terrible on my grades. I'm getting D's. But it's like, oh, this mini game. All right, get ready. See if I got it. My phone's so fast. Damn it. See, I really want to get good with the parries. That's the thing, is that those parries are super hard to do and pull off. Damn, I'm stuck because, like, yeah, Akuma's going to be tough. Alex will be easier, but damn, Akuma's theme is so good in this game that I'm going to take the hit and go for Akuma. Like, yeah, I'm going to take the hit. And you know what? It would be remiss of me if I played this game and I didn't talk about the infamous moment for this game. Of course, like, I'm talking about Evo Moment 37. Probably one of the greatest fighting game clips of all time. This was the game that cemented to me, it's like, damn, I really wish I was good at fighting games. And was just, like, I don't have to even like describe it because you've already seen it. If you're looking up this video, you know what Evo Moment 37 is. If you don't, go watch that clip. That clip is honestly amazing. And just seeing top level Third Strike gameplay, like Daigo, Justin Wong, it's like, whoo, that era of Street Fighter was cold. It's like I'm waiting for another moment like that. There's some really good moments. Don't get me wrong, but a moment like that was just, And it's like, have I been able to do that? No, I've never gotten close. I try to do it because if I in the Street Fighter Third Strike PS3 port, you actually can try that out. Like, they have their events mode, and event 37 is that you have to parry Ken's. You have to parry that super. And you know what? It ain't easy. I got 2 punches in and I gave up. I was like, nope, I'm not there yet. But yeah, this theme, I've used this piece of music a bunch over the years. I've used a lot of Third Strike music over time. Like, this soundtrack just works for anything video-wise. Like, all the songs just, they're perfect background material. Damn, I might have to go Alex because Akuma's kicking my ass. He's tearing me up. Akuma, stop. See, at that point I was talking about where the woo! This is that point I was talking about earlier, where it's like when you hit this stage, enemies start getting ridiculously hard. The CPU starts like reading your inputs and they get really smart. It starts like right around here. And as you can see, I got smoked.
Welcome
Shouldn't do a do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get on y'all select to make your first pick. Let's get it on y'all. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Get it on y'all. Choose to pick your best ones. Get it on y'all. 5, 4, 3, 2. God, I love this song so much. It's like bring the rapping back to Street bring the rapping back to Street Fighter. All right, let's go. Damn it. Okay, I don't know how I won that round because I was playing pretty rough there. I was going super on the offense. I feel like that's what I have to do like for this. I can't let Akuma get far enough away. I can't let him get on offense because if he does, it's over. He starts hitting you with those combos, and he's got all these setups that could easily lead into stuff. Woo! That would have been it. All right, let me not blow this lead right now. Let me focus. Okay. All right, let's take it back.
Go.
God dang it. This isn't looking good. This is not looking good at all. Dang, I wasn't smart. Did the wrong input. See, that's what you're supposed to do when you lose on your own accord. You're like, you know what? That was me. I messed up an input. I wasn't being like, oh, you know, this game just, the game was lagging. You know, the controller got a little disconnected. None of these excuses. Sometimes I'll be looking online, but people be coming up with the worst excuses for losing in fighting games. Like, it doesn't even make sense. They'll be like, yeah, my controller was giving me these input issues. Like, you're playing offline. Like, what are you talking about? It's like, just admit you lost. Like, it's not that hard. Just be like, you know, that was me. I lost. I gotta do better next round. Rather than, oh, well, you know, when the PS4 gets a little hot, you know, the game kind of runs at unoptimal frame rates. No, I gotta talk about that after this match. Once I beat him, I gotta talk about this thing I saw earlier on the Scrub the Scrub Quotes Twitter account. I saw probably the worst excuse I've ever seen. Like, this person needs to stop playing fighting games after what I just saw. Look how I'm playing. I need to stop playing fighting games. I'm getting Kuma's tearing me up. I'm not playing smart here. Keep in mind, I'm not even at the final boss yet. I'm thinking this is hard. Ooh, wait till I get to the end. That's gonna be the whole video. 20 minutes of me dying. It's like I could just switch to Alex. It could be over in an instant. I might do that. You know what? I'm not afraid to admit defeat. I might do it because Akuma is nasty right now. Like, but I'm not playing good. You see, I keep jumping there. Like I'm leaving myself open. Like I shouldn't. Akuma's one of those characters you really can't be jumping because he can get you in the air. He can get you in the ground. Like, I need to play smart. All right, let's go to Alex. I'm not saying it's going to be any easier, but at least I'll have a bit of a better chance comparatively.
Now.
All right, there's round one.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Ah, yeah, that was on me.
Final round. Go for it.
Nope. All right, that's it. Oh man, Alex is pretty bad, but you know what? I can at least get him. Like all the stuff in that second round were all on me. I should have played a little smarter. I was still going more on offense. I should have gone defense at least. You know, so I'm not just like talking here, like sitting here quietly, just fuming. I guess I will bring up something it does have a relation to not this game, but Street Fighter as a whole. So yesterday I got done watching this anime on Netflix called High Score Girl, which honestly was a really good anime. I actually really enjoyed it. It's a nice little fun little anime. The thing I do like about that game is that it's about like this kid and this girl who share this relationship and just rivalry against fighting games in the arcades. And the thing I respect about this show is that they legit show, like, in most shows, when they show a fighting game, it's always like some rip-off of like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. Like, they don't have the rights to it. The thing I love about High Score Girl is that they have the rights to everything. Like, when they're showing fighting game footage, you're seeing legit footage of the games. Like, they're mentioning Ryu, they're mentioning Guile, Zangief, and you're not even just saying Street Fighter, you're saying like Darkstalkers, you're saying like every fighting game you would have seen in the 90s that would have been big in arcades in Japan and just big in general, you're saying. Like, it's such a cool little show. Honestly, and actually I give it some pretty high recommendations. It's a pretty cool little watch. If you're going into it just for that, I think you'll like it. There's also other stuff in there, but I'm not going to say it because people are like, it's a romance anime? No, thank you. All right. Let's see, all it took was me to talk about anime to get through them. Apparently, focusing on the match threw me off my game. I have to just not focus on the game at all, just be talking about other garbage. Oh, you already know we gotta go for that song alone. I'm not picking it like, you know what, this character sucks to fight. I'm picking it on the stage music.
Go for it.
Although Yun kind of sucks to fight when you get to these stages because I don't really like fighting Yun. I've fought too many Yuns before who just like tear me to shreds, and it's just like, it's hurt. Like, you ever have those characters in fighting games where, like, the character's cool, but you hate them for, like, a reason outside of them? It's like someone either plays them too much or they just have, like, a certain thing about them. It's like, man, it's a cool character, but the way some people play him, like, ruins it. In Smash, it was like that, where in Smash Ultimate, there's a few characters where it's like, the character's cool, but the way certain people play him, I can't stand these characters. or man, going back to Street Fighter 4, going to Super Street Fighter 4 in particular, Sagat in that game was garbage. I hated Sagat in like Super Street Fighter 4. He was, everybody online used him. He was super good. I remember Hakan was good. I hated fighting Hakan. I hated Zangief. Like T-Hawk was really bad. Like honestly, they were like half that roster of that game I hated, mostly due to online, because everybody played them in the worst way possible. They would spam one move that was really good, and they would win every match that way. And it got super annoying. But boy, do I miss those days. I honestly really loved playing Super Street Fighter 4. That was a good game. I wasn't the best at that game, but I really enjoyed it. All right, we got to go for the clone match. Although Ken's really good in this game. Thing is, I can play as Ryu or Ken. I like playing as both equally. This music, this stage. God, you know that summer of brawls doesn't sound like a bad idea. You know what? You might be seeing that coming. You might see it coming pretty soon. Because a summer of just fighting games for GWC plays. Like now I'm kind of getting pumped to just trying to play out some fighting games. These are some I'm like super fond of growing up. But there's so many out there I haven't played. And honestly, it'd be pretty fun to just try out some new fighting games for the first time on this series. Now, I played a bunch of them, but there's still a lot of them out there. So you know what? For those of you who stuck through to watch to this point, if you have any recommendations of fighting games I should play on here, give me a heads up, because I do want to at least try some new ones, or they'll at least give me an idea which ones maybe I should like try and play. That was stupid of me. That was really stupid of me. I shouldn't have been close there. I shouldn't have done that. Like I should be fighting Ken like I'd fight a Ryu, which is not to jump over him because you're gonna get Shoryuken. And I figured as much that was gonna happen. Maybe my kid should practice sparring with you. Oh, that's it, man. Now he's going down. I gotta go default colors now. I'm not standing for that. No formalities. It's over. Street Fighter 4.jpg right here, just spamming projectiles from afar, and then that's the match. I remember some of those old EVO Street Fighter 4 matches with Guile. I used to hate watching those because that's a lot. I remember a lot of like, I walked right into that. A lot of Guile players would just be playing like that. They'd just be just waiting for Sonic Booms, Tiger Uppercut. Like, I'm not Tiger. No, wrong. Sorry, I'm getting. Oh, he taunted me now. He's like, wrong character, idiot. But no, a lot of Guile players be spamming those Sonic Booms. Those matches be going on super long. Like, time's almost running out how long. It's like, that's why I like those active characters, because sometimes those matches will be pretty short. There's no playing around. There's none of this, oh, I'm going to wait in the corner. Like, no, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for blood. Those were always the fun matches, because they got super close and... I had to go zone a bit. Yeah, maybe it's a little cheap, but I'm going to do what I got to do to win. Well, okay, not everything. I'm not going to... Also, this is CPU. I wouldn't be doing this online. One, because online, these strategies would not work. An actual player would have already smoked me. The second they see those Hadouken, they would have known how to. They would have figured out immediately how to get rid of that and fight against it. There you go. You know the one thing I do have to say, because I've played a lot of different fighting games on like a gamepad. I don't know if it's just... So I play D-pad. I've exclusively only played fighting games with the D-pad. But I have met people who play analog. If you play analog out there, I gotta know, how do you do it? It's so hard. Like, I can't do my inputs that good. I know some people say that, like, it's like, oh, it's as closest to a fight stick, but I feel like it's too jittery for that. Like, I don't have as much precise controls. Oh yeah, speaking of fights that suck, here's Gil. This fight is garbage and I hate fighting him. So if you thought Kuma was gonna take a long time, watch out for Gil, because I'm gonna be here all night fighting him. Oh, it's getting on my nerves. This might be the end of the GWC plays. You might not see the end of this game. No, I'm not. I'm mad. That's the one thing. I love fighting games, but the worst thing about the fighting games are always the final bosses when you get to arcade mode, because they're always the cheapest boss on earth. Like they always have like these super moves they pull out, or they're always super overpowered, or the CPU is always ridiculously strong. Especially in arcades, like I feel like they made them hard just so you could waste quarters. Like that's probably entirely what it was. It was like, we want to get as much money as possible. Let's ease them into it. Make those first few enemies super easy. Anybody can beat them. Then dial it up once you get to the end and make it impossible. So you got to keep throwing in quarters. You're never going to beat them. When you finally beat him, it's like, all right, I killed Gil. All right, now what else am I going to play? Oh, wait, I'm out of money. I just spent $25 trying to beat him. All right, I guess I can go watch other people play games now. Or I can do what I used to do back then. Hey, Dad, can I have some of your quarters I lost? I used all of mine up. It's like, you just got here like 15 minutes ago. It's like, I know. But a lot of times at certain points, if I would get to this part of the game and I'd die once, I had a rule where I just wouldn't continue. Because I was like, nah, I'm not trying to waste money. Especially if I went with like limited funds or not a lot. I tried to make it a mission just not to waste them. It's why I wouldn't try and like play House of the Dead too much, because those games were quarter hogs. Man, I'm getting destroyed over here. 2 centuries, a mere blink upon the face of eternity.
Welcome to the world of Street Fighter 3.
Now, I could end it real... No. We started it with Ryu. We're ending it with Ryu.
Prepare to strike. Now.
I just hate how much damage he does. He didn't even do that much. And look how much my health's already at. Look where it's already at. See, this is why I hate these bosses. Look how much damage he does. He hasn't done anything. I've been chipping away at him. Like, Oh, ooh, I swear if I had lost that round, I would have stopped the recording right there. I would have been like, that's it. And you know what? I could be cheap. You know what? I'm going to be a little cheap today. This is for safety, just in case I can't beat him. If I'm not doing that, you know what? We gotta beat him legit. Because people are watching, and I don't want to be... And I already know the comments. They're going to be like, you know what? I don't like to say no Johns, but, you know, you really bit the bullet there. Taking them out with that save. Are you sure you played Third Strike in the arcades? Because you pulled some weak stuff over there. And I'm gonna be like, you know what? You're banned from the channel. Not for what you said, because you know you're spot on. More for you saying no Johns. You know, no Johns is a fine statement, but when your first name is John, it brings on a whole new meaning. Where it just drives me up the wall. I'm like, I don't ever want to hear that. Because it's like it's used in such a negative way, and it's like when your first name is John, you're just like no Johns. It's like, God, shut up. All right, no Pauls, no Ruperts. And every person I've done that to, they always get mad. You know, when I use their name as like a no thing, they start getting super mad. It's like, hey, this is how I feel. I'm still kind of heated on that right now. Yeah, that no John stuff really does. I get a little. I'm just like. I just be like, no excuses over no Johns. Like, I'm not trying to insult myself. Damn. All right, I'm gonna give it 2 more tries. If all those fails, I'm gonna use that little safe state I put in for the purpose of time. I was about to use the super. I was like, you know, maybe not. You me save it for this next round. If I'd used it, I probably would have won that round. Ugh. But you know what's crazy? When I started this, I was like, before I started recording, I was like, you know, this might be a pretty short GWC plays. Might be like 30 minutes or so. I don't know how long I've been recording because I don't have my stuff in front of me. But I assure you, it's probably not 30 minutes. I'm probably watching this back in editing just like damn, it really wasn't 30 minutes. It's like an hour and a half. Like, that's what I hate, is like when I'm like, all right, it's gonna be a quick recording, and then it ends up being super long. Or the worst is when I do a long recording and I can't even use it. I remember the worst example of that, and it's a GWC plays that never got to see the light of day, is I did a 3-hour Final Fantasy X GWC plays when the Switch version came out, and I went into like how like it was a childhood game. I was giving all these facts. I was getting excited just hearing the original soundtrack. It was a really good one. I actually had a lot of fun recording that one. And I come to find out that my capture device just decided not to record anything or corrupted the save file, and I lost everything. And I was like, great, that sums up everything. And I didn't have the heart to ever re-record it again, because I was like, it was so good, I can't replicate it again. So I just called it a day. So I never saw the light of day. And I was mad. I was like, I recorded 3 hours. I'm never getting those 3 hours back. I don't have any footage to show. It's like, great. And see, this is why this fight sucks. This fight is garbage. Yeah, that Final Fantasy one just drew me up a wall. I was like why? I spent so long on it. And it's not the first time too. I had a bunch of them go like that. I did like a Resident Evil 7 VR one. That was pretty good, but then like capture device decided just to screw up and not record. It's like my capture device always does it when I have really good recordings. When I have terrible ones, it always manages to save it. It's like oh, we want to make sure you have this for your archive. We wouldn't want you to lose this now, would we? Where it's like, nah, that one you could have lost because it was kind of trash. Great. All right, so you know what? For the purpose of time, I'm gonna load game. I know it's cheap, but I gotta do what I gotta do to be done with this video. Damn, he's kicking my ass again.
Now.
It's like my palms are sweaty. Knees getting a little weak over here. Man, I don't know what they were thinking when they were just like, all right, let's make this boss ridiculously hard. Let's make it so he refills all his health. It's like, man, who's the guy who's the guy who said this in the meeting so I can go tell him one? What if that guy even played this? I feel like sometimes people give ideas for things. They're like, oh yeah, that'd be great. Then they'd be like, you gonna do this? And they're like, no, I wouldn't do that. It's like, why even give the suggestion? Why you gonna be like, oh yeah, they're gonna love this? Would you play him? Oh no. I'm sweating over here. I can't tell if this is because the PS4 is making my room hot or if I'm just this match. Oh, that's not. God, look how much damage that does. I swear, this fight is. I want to see the end of this game for the video. Like I want to see the end for this so I can have a complete thing. I don't want a GWC Plays Third Strike Again video to come out with the ending. It's like I've been talking about this game and the history of it and all this stuff. Like I want it to be like a complete Third Strike video. It's not complete without the ending. Maybe to like some guy out there, but no. I'm not Dark Side Phil. I'm not gonna do this that way. Woo! I'm like losing the spirit here. I was all excited in the beginning of this video, and like all of like the excitement was drained. I was honestly dreading getting to this fight because I knew it was gonna turn out like this. Like from the beginning, I was just like, when I get the end, it's not gonna be so easy.
Now.
I just don't like how much damage he does.
Sweep the leg. You have a problem with that? No, Sensei. No mercy.
Go for it. Let's go.
Hey, who knew sweeping the leg was actually all I had to do? I should have just been like Karate Kid. Sweep the leg. Hey, look, I did it. And I got the trophy too, because I actually haven't beaten it on this version of the game. I've mostly just played this game for local multiplayer. Look at that. It's really a complete one. I got a trophy for beating it. I got my name in first, and I got it all on video. Oh man, that is kind of funny. That's how I had to beat him. I had to be extremely cheap and just sweep the leg. Like, that's what I love about fighting games. Sometimes you have to do the jankiest stuff to win. Street Fighter Third Strike, fight for the future. These legends for all this character design. Scroll design. I see you, Rio Uno. Kazuhito Nakai, I saw what you did in this battle. Okugawa, that man's a legend. Yoshinori Ono. Hey. Infinite, where are you? Where is Infinite at? Where are they at? I want to see them at Evo. Do the Third Strike soundtrack live and get those guys to come out and start rapping. But yeah, Third Strike, it's still a good game. It gets really hard, but it's still a really fun game. Like this is just like a good game, just local, just play with a bunch of people. It's still fun, and it doesn't matter how many times I played it. It's still a really fun game to play. And Capcom all staff, thank you for playing. Presented by Capcom. You know, despite the rage I had for the last 20 minutes, it was very fun. And it was very fun actually talking about this game in great length. There's probably a bunch of other stuff I could have mentioned about this game. But, you know what? We'll save it for a later date. Like I said, we've got a lot of fighting games we still got to get through in this series. Hey, GWC, the top spot. But you know what? That's going to be it from me here for Street Fighter Third Strike, GWC Plays. Great game. If you want to play this game yourself, the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Pack has this game. It has a bunch of Street Fighter games. I highly recommend this collection. It's great. Play it here. It's got online support. If you have a PS3 and 360, the Third Strike port on that version is great. It has a much more robust active community. It has great online. Also has a lot of features too. So if you're looking for a lot of different stuff, that version's really good to get. Also the 25th Anniversary Collection, the one on PS2, that's another good one. But that's really if you're trying to go PS2 and below for it. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me here. So until next time, I'm John, GWC, and let's get it on. Wait, before I actually finish this video, I forgot to mention that terrible comment I saw from the Scrub Quotes Twitter account, and I'd be really mad if I didn't say it out loud right now. This comment was ridiculous. And it had to do with Third Strike. It had to do with the Evo Moment 37 clip. And this person said this, and I quote, "Must be missing something in the crowd's hype, because this is the lamest way to play fighting games ever. I see it happen all over. Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat. Everyone just plays the frame rate and counterattack game. Facts you may need to hear. You aren't really playing Street Fighter. Fighting games are about fighting each other, not waiting for your opponent to make a technical error so you can use internal knowledge of the game's internal systems to punch them. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. End quote. I don't even need to say how ridiculous this is. This guy is mad that they're using the game systems and are good with it. They mastered the game, and he's mad that they're using it. They're not cheat codes. He didn't do the Konami code. He's parrying. It's a system in the game. That'd be like if I played Mario Kart and I'm getting mad that people are using items. Well, okay, I already get mad at that anyway. But that'd be like me getting mad, like, how are you gonna use items in Mario Kart? It's like, it's a system in the game. It's like, you think I'm just gonna go through a match without using them? It's like, no, stop being in first place. But yeah, it's so ridiculous. Like, I was like, this comment didn't have anything in me playing Third Strike. You know, it is the 21st anniversary of this game, and you know what? I had to play it. So yeah, for real this time. Catch you later on. This guy needs to play some more fighting games. I don't know what he's doing. I'm gonna go play some more fighting games right now.